guys, and welcome to the Bring Your Own Kool-Aid podcast. This is a place for serious professionals to be seriously unprofessional. So come on in. The Kool-Aid is fine.
I've never done a podcast before, so it's quite
Oh,
interesting. No, literally not.
am I taking your virginity?
Well, that is happening.
I just stare at
Nice.
you now and just wait for you to say something funny.
Oh.
No, I won't really.
Uh,
Let's talk about how I I know you because you do web stuff, right?
yeah.
But probably more exciting than that is that you have transitioned into coffee stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think of you to be very honest as a
Uh-huh.
little bit of a geek, but a lovely geek. And I,
hmm
I I like geeks. I am also a geek
hmm
because I'll tell you why I say that. Whenever I do a post saying that I'm going to watch Lord of the Rings and have a roast dinner, you are like, you're right in there. You're like,
yeah, literally.
yes.
Yeah.
What sides are you having?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, accurate. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Roasted is a Lord of the Rings, very, very me.
yeah. So is that like your ideal weekend?
Yeah, I mean, my wife's not a huge fan of Lord of the Rings.
No.
She like I think she's watched it. I think she preferred The Hobbit. And I think it's because it was, I guess, more silly.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Which I kind of get. And I was just like, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I didn't like dislike the Hobbit films. Um,
I didn't
so
dislike them either.
no, I think they're great films.
They're
And I
fun.
think, yeah, I think they're good films. I quite enjoy watching them. I like Martin Freeman, so that's always a win.
I don't I don't like him. And I'll
Oh,
tell
okay.
you why. He always plays the same character, that kind of like
Yeah.
person who does like a weird little frown, like a smug frown at the end of every sentence he says. And he also looks a bit like my dad.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that definitely doesn't help then, does it?
No. So I just find him a
Yeah.
little irritating.
Yeah, that's fair.
But no, Lord of the Rings is good.
It
But I
is.
know when I first met my ex, Athena's dad,
Mhm.
he's massively into Star Wars. And somebody said to me, like, do you like do you not like Star Wars? And I was like, no. And they're like, well, how did you manage to like get with him then? Because it was like a prerequisite for
Mhm.
him. It was like you have to like Star Wars. I've never seen Star Wars. I cannot imagine something more boring than sitting and watching Star Wars.
That's fair.
Have you seen
Yeah.
it? You've seen
Star
all of
Wars.
it?
Yeah, so my childhood, I remember watching like episode one when that came out.
Yeah. Mm,
I quite enjoyed watching that one.
yeah.
It was, it was quite action based
Mm,
film. It was, yeah, I quite enjoyed watching it. Um, and I've seen like the other ones as well. And I don't mind it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to put it on. Yeah, well, if someone, so say, for example, someone put it on,
yeah.
I wouldn't be like, ugh, no, I'm
I
not
would.
watching this. I'd just be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll watch that. It's fine.
I would. You know when there's just something that you know that you're gonna absolutely fucking hate.
It's like, yeah,
Know
yeah.
it. So I'm like, no. And the other one, Indiana Jones as well. I don't know what I've never seen them
Mhm.
because they make me fall asleep. Like I want to, and I've tried so many times, but you know how it's like a kind of like a Sunday afternoon thing that you put on.
Mhm.
It's like raining. You snuggle down to watch it, put it on, and then I fall asleep.
Yeah, that's fair.
Don't know why. Okay, so if you had like Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
Star Wars,
Uh-huh.
Harry Potter,
Uh-huh.
sounded really British then. Harry Potter. Like
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. What one? What are you gonna binge? Like, what's gonna be?
The easiest binge, if it's just me watching, the easiest binge is Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, like 100%.
Um, it just every time I watch it, the music, everything, I just love everything about those films.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then I guess the second for me would probably be Harry Potter because again, I grew up watching them,
Yeah.
and I know that my kids really enjoy watching them as well.
Yeah.
So knowing that they get joy watching those films, I
Yeah.
grew up watching those films. I was like, so if in like a family setting, that's more likely to be put on.
Yeah.
If it's just me, it'd be Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. So with your coffees that I
Yeah,
named after
Norse mythology. Yeah,
people,
yeah.
what like why? What inspired?
Why?
Like it's cool as fuck, don't get me wrong. So I'm not like, why? I'm
Yeah.
like, I get it, like it's cool. But like what was the thought behind it? Because like Athena being called Athena,
Mhm.
it's just because it's a cool name and it suited her.
Yeah,
But there
no,
was
that's
no
fair.
like there was nothing behind it, you know?
Yeah. Um, I think I've always been interested in Norse mythology. And then I guess at the time I was watching the show Vikings.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I guess I was kind of invested in that kind of just researching stuff around that kind of particular thing.
Yeah.
And Vikings and things. So, and then, I mean, funny thing is, I didn't like or drink coffee. I thought it was the worst drink ever. But
Yeah.
then I grew up my parents only drinking instant coffee.
Ah, well, that would be why you think it's shit then.
And every time I smelled coffee, I was like, ugh. So I just always had that. That's the disgusting brown thing my parents drink.
Yeah.
Um, it's
It tastes
just,
like Weetabix. I
yeah,
find coffee
it's
fantastic.
not good. And then, and yeah, so obviously my girlfriend at the time, wife now,
Yeah.
was a big fan of coffee, and then we had the lockdown situation happen,
Mm.
and obviously she used to quite enjoy getting like a coffee shop coffee,
Yeah.
and obviously we didn't have kind of stuff like that. And then I was kind of researching because she's said she like had filter coffees and stuff before, but they weren't that good. So
Mm.
then I went down the rabbit hole of researching all about coffee, and I was just like, I'm gonna find out about this stuff.
Oh.
So I was just like researching stuff, and then I was just like because obviously Soph wanted a nice coffee at home. So I was like, could we create a business out of this
Yeah.
and bring nice coffee to other people at home? Because a lot of the people that I kind of speak to about coffee, they're like, oh, I can't find a good filter coffee
Yeah.
for my house. I've never found a good one. They're all crap. And
Yeah.
I was just like, right, well, let's see if I can bring nice coffee to people's houses.
And it is really fucking nice as well.
It is it well to the point that I actually drink it and like it, which is weird because I went from I don't like coffee
Yeah.
to ooh, this is actually quite nice.
Nice. Yeah. And you got a decaf one, haven't you?
We do have a decaf blend, yeah. I've
Have I
never
tried
drunk.
your decaf?
I don't know.
I don't know if you had decaf
I
when you had
don't. Yeah, I'm not sure because we started with well 6 blends, which again we only
yeah.
really have 6 blends. So we've got the 6 different varieties of coffee, and then eventually we added the decaf.
Yeah.
Um, and then we also added the hot chocolate powder
Yeah.
as well, which
Yeah.
is if you want to make mochas or do something fancy with the coffees, or
Yeah.
if you just want a hot chocolate that's really nice.
Yeah.
Um,
I think I've had
got
all
that
of
as
them
well.
apart from the decaf, which
Mhm.
is funny because like I'm trying to not be a caffeinated bitch anymore
Trying
because
to lay off the caffeine.
swear to God, right? When my house was being painted,
Mhm.
uh, I'm like very organized, obviously, in my career, and
Yeah.
and operationally and project management and all that kind of stuff, and I understand things and I understand how things are going to work. For some
Mhm.
reason, when I had my house painted, which was Athena's bedroom, my bedroom, the lounge, and the kitchen,
Yeah.
I didn't seem to think that it would like cause any disruption to my like day at all
Mhm.
because I'm a fucking idiot. And I ended up having to stay at my mum's for a week. And my mum only has decaf coffee pods.
Right.
And I think it must have been like about 2 o'clock into the first day I was there. And I thought I was going to fucking die from the
Did you
caffeine.
have the worst headache, right?
It was so bad. I literally said to my mum, I think I'm going to die. I need to go to the shop. And this is how bad it was and get some instant coffee because I can't. like I can't do this. It was
Mhm.
so painful. And then I thought after that, when I came home, I thought, I can't, that's insane. Like
Mm.
that is insane. And now I only have one caffeinated cup of something a day.
It's really bizarre actually because I don't drink a lot of coffee.
Mm,
I do, I'll have one a day, so majority of the time. Um, or if I'm not drinking coffee, I'll just have cups of tea.
yeah,
But it's bizarre how s- even though I don't drink a lot of caffeine and don't feel like I need it, I don't feel like it wakes me up really.
yeah,
Um, but if I don't have a caffeinated drink,
yeah,
I
yeah.
do get a really bad headache.
Yeah. I swear to God, like I really do. And I didn't even realize how bad it was at the time because
Mm.
like you said, I didn't feel like if I had a cup of tea or a cup of coffee that it was like actually giving me any energy or waking me up or doing anything that it's
Mhm.
supposed to be stimulant. I was always
Yeah.
just
It's
knackered
just yeah,
all the time. I
yeah,
feel like I've got more energy now that I don't drink loads and loads of caffeine.
yeah, yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. So decaf's important. I need to try that one.
Yeah, we have to get you some.
So okay, so you were like locked down being really sweet and thinking, how can I help my girlfriend get her caffeine fix or her coffee fix?
Yeah,
Being a true fucking entrepreneur instead of just being like, oh, we'll just, we'll just
we'll just
order
buy in this coffee.
it, just get some coffee from Amazon. You're like, why didn't I just start a company?
Start a business. Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, it probably would have just been easier to buy coffee. But I think it's because I was really interested because I started to read into, all of the, small roasteries and stuff around the country and stuff. And I was just like, I'm interested in the whole process now.
Yeah.
I think when I decide that I want to learn something, I just kind of get stuck in. So, in our garden now, I'm growing loads of veg, and
Hmm.
I've just massively been into, right, let's work out how to do this. And so when do I plant this?
Are
At what
you
time of day do I do this?
are
Yeah.
you what they call typical neurotypical, or are you what they would call neurodiverse? You don't know.
I have no idea. I've never done any research into anything like that. But usually when I become interested in something, I spend ages researching everything around that topic.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I started looking into growing stuff, I guess I end up on YouTube. That's like the place to go, right? To learn things. So um I just end up watching loads of stuff around growing things. And then I ended up I'm growing mushrooms in the garage now. Not in
Ew.
no, yeah, yeah, so I'm growing lion's mane currently.
Okay.
Because I was interested around that kind of thing. So yeah, I think and then I was kind of researching more into other types of mushrooms you can grow, and then what you do when it's kind of once the mushrooms have finished fruiting, what you can then do. Can you then so like when the bag has finished
Yeah.
it's like it's fruited all of the mushrooms out of the bag. You can
Yeah.
then kind of take what's left, put it into new like material for the
Yeah.
mycelium to go into, and then you can basically just keep recycling it, keep using it.
I recently read a novel
Yeah.
about, I don't even fucking know what it was about, but you know those that like fungi that can get into ants and then they kind of turn into zombies and then they explode. Do you know what, do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I have not a clue.
There is
No, I
okay.
don't.
There is a type of it, so
That
just be careful.
that
Because
sounds crazy.
honestly, I swear to God, there's like this type of sport, it's like spores or something.
Mhm.
And it like it's parasitic in some kind of way and it gets into the ant and then it takes over its nervous system and it sends them all loopy. And then
Mhm.
they go out into the woods or whatever. And then they kind of like explode and then the spores go out and then they go into more ants and then the ants kind of just take it like far and wide. Like the book wasn't about zombie ants. It was about like if it happened to people.
Yeah.
So a bit kind of like The Last of Us, because that's
That's yeah,
it, isn't it?
yeah. That's essentially yeah. It's like mushrooms, kind of that
Yeah.
whole kind of yeah, that thing.
So can you just be careful, please, and
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah, yeah.
fucking
I can't. I don't think I'm gonna make an army of zombie ants.
why not? You know, when people do the questions of like, how far do you think you'd get in like a zombie apocalypse?
Zombie apocalypse. Yeah.
Not very far, in my
Hmm.
case. I just, I think because I have Athena, I'd
Yeah.
try
Yeah.
harder.
Yeah. Yeah.
But otherwise, I think I'd be like, oh, all right, just
Just see what happens.
fucking kill me then. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just, I just get to a point where I'm like, I've had enough of this shit now.
Hmm.
I couldn't do the whole Walking Dead stuff where it's just like
Well,
years of it.
the thing with the Walking Dead thing, which I was always just really confused with. I guess most of them are over in America,
Yeah,
so I don't think they had a big period of history where you have armor and things like that.
yeah.
Because you think zombie apocalypse, if you're wearing a suit of armor, you can't be bitten. Do you know what I
Well,
mean? It's so.
yeah, but practicality. Are you gonna rock around in a fucking suit
Well,
of armor?
if yeah, when you're out of your house, yeah, obviously.
Like I'm thinking like medieval knight though. Are you talking like
Yeah,
full
that's well, yeah, essentially. Well, if you even if you had leather armor,
heavy?
okay, yeah, but if you had leather armor, on, okay, they
Yeah.
can't bite through leather.
Okay.
I mean, do you know what I mean? Do you see what
I see. I do see where you're going.
chainmail armor, whatever? Just wearing a suit of armor.
I
You don't need
do.
a full plate mail suit of armor,
No,
although you can get very lightweight plate mail. But
I get it. I'm with you.
if you're going out to get resources,
Yeah.
wear a suit of armor. You can't be killed because you can't be bitten.
I'm slow. You'd
So
be,
what? Well, how what are they going to do?
but also,
Okay,
right? But also,
all right.
it's usually people that is the problem rather than,
That's true. That's true.
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, whenever that stuff's going on in
Yeah,
the war,
it's the people that are
it's
also trying to
always,
get the
yeah,
yeah.
it's the leaders, it's people with like bats with freaking whatever, like nails coming out of it and barbed wire around it.
That's it. Yeah.
Who is your favorite character in The Walking Dead?
Well,
If it's not Glenn, you're incorrect in this
it
conversation.
was it yes, up until that period of time. You know,
Mm.
the infamous episode. Yes, it was Glenn.
Yeah,
Um it then shifted to I actually really enjoyed Negan's character.
going to die. He's a boss.
He is yeah, although he ended the best character.
Yeah,
He took over as the best character from that point.
yeah. That genuinely got me. Like usually when I'm watching things, I'm invested, but I don't normally like have a kind of actual emotional, physical reaction to something. But when he
Mm.
fucking spoilers for a TV show that's like
Yeah,
a million years old,
that's it's so old. If you haven't seen it,
fuck you.
tough. You've seen it somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. But when he went down,
Yeah,
I was just like, oh my fucking god, son of a bitch.
yeah,
That was awful. I
yeah.
think that's probably like one of the saddest. Yeah, that's the saddest death, right? I can't think of
Uh,
a sadder like.
I yeah, I have this ability to make my favorite character be the only one that dies in a show or a film.
Go
So, have
on.
you ever watched the King Arthur with Clive Owen and Keira Knightley?
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway, there's King Arthur in that. And the character Tristram in
Right.
that was one of my favorite characters in the film. And I just loved him as a character. And then he died, and I was like, this is fucking shit. And every time I pick a favorite character, they end up dying.
Yeah,
You know, Boromir, for an example of
I know. But
uh,
did you read the books though? Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd read the books, yeah.
Yeah.
obviously. But like again, he was one of the coolest characters, and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, sad
Yeah.
times.
But I did the same in Game of Thrones. Who was the one? Is it Oberyn? Is that how you
Yes, Oberyn Martell. Yeah,
fuck my life? I
yeah,
love.
that. I felt very ill when I first watched that scene.
Did you?
Yeah, I was like, because I really liked that character as well.
Yeah.
And then to have that happen, I was like, my God. I actually felt a little bit sick when it happened. I was like, that's disgusting.
But Glenn's was worse.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Well, I don't know if it was.
If it was.
It was, yeah, it was pretty bad, but I think I felt more sick watching the other
Yeah.
one
Well, no,
because
that's fair. But I miss something like Game of Thrones where anything goes.
yeah,
Like, well,
yeah,
I mean, obviously towards the end it got a bit like, well,
yes, yeah, that's fair.
but like I love the shock value of that where it's just like, oh fucking hell. Like, you know,
Yeah,
they don't make him like that anymore.
no,
I
no,
said
that is,
years ago.
and that was something that I obviously now with all the kind of streaming services and stuff. I used to obviously when Game of Thrones kind of first came out, it was very much like you were excited to watch it every week
Yeah.
because
Yep.
it's like the new episode was coming out, everyone was sitting down and watching it at the same time, and it was like, and it is what the intro every because obviously when you binge watch something now, it's a bit like I literally saw this intro like a little while ago. I'm not going to watch the intro this many times,
Yep.
but when you're like every week, it's like it just sets the mood, doesn't it? The intro.
Yeah, but there are also some TV shows that even if you're binging, you still have to listen to the in
Well, like I mean, Game of Thrones. That is that is an intro music that you do just listen to.
Sopranos.
Yeah,
Like you're not skipping that. If you
no,
skip
that's fair.
something fundamental.
I just the same with the Vikings intro. I used to always watch that one. There are some shows with intros, even if you're binging it, you just don't skip it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like some TV shows that I have just found like the absolute best and I want to watch something as good as that,
Mhm.
but not like I think anything by Mike Flanagan. So the Haunting of Hill House, Haunting
Mhm.
of Manor, Midnight Club, all of that shit is fucking incredible and I love it. And then on the same par as that is like a TV show called The OA, which not very many people have seen or heard of, but it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I've watched these now, and I've just gone through Haunting of Hill House and Bly Manor again,
Mhm.
and I'm like, everything else is shit in
Just
comparison.
not as good. Yeah.
It's tricky as well when you've got like little ones and stuff.
Yeah, because you can't. So like, I just rewatched the three Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I quite enjoyed watching those when I was younger. But yeah, so
The third one's shit.
yeah, that is, in my opinion, the worst of the three.
Yeah.
Well, obviously the three in the trilogy, they've made more since, haven't they?
Yeah.
Which I think I've seen the fourth one. I've not seen the others.
Okay. So, what have you got coming up? What you doing? Anything exciting?
Um, yeah, I mean, there is something that I'm working on currently, which is similar to the main business of website things.
Yeah.
Um, and it's gonna be called That Tech Tribe.
Ooh.
Um, and it's essentially um kind of helping people that have ideas for small businesses, kind of where to start with getting everything set up, that all the tech stuff. So it's kind of give them the tools and
Yeah.
teach them how to set everything up.
Yeah.
Um, is generally the kind of the premise behind it. But yeah, that's exciting. I'm working on that, setting that up over the summer while
Very good.
Sophie's off, which is cool.
Yeah. Would you say that I am the worst client that you've ever had, in so much as that I still haven't got a website?
Yes, probably. I guess you would. Yeah. Um,
Somebody said to me the other day, well, it was not even the other, this is how bad it is. Not even the other day. Somebody said to me the beginning of this year or the end of last year,
Uh-huh.
oh, actually, it's happened to me twice this year. They said to me at the end of last year, somebody
Hmm.
was like, oh, do you know you've been under a rebrand for a really, really long time? And I was like, yeah. And then somebody said to me a few months ago, like, do you have anything I can look at whilst your website's under a rebrand? And I was just like,
What's
yeah,
really funny is I remember I think I messaged you last year and said I'm doing XYZ.
yeah,
Do you want do, do you need help with this? Because oh no, I've got a guy who's doing it for me,
yeah.
and it's still not been done.
I know. But that wasn't bullshit though. That wasn't actually bullshit. I had you know, a colleague say to me that it was something that they wanted to start offering in their kind of suite. And because they know me very well, would I like them to do one for me?
Mhm.
And I was like, yeah, of course. And yeah. But, but to be fair to them,
Mhm.
they've done the same thing that you did, which was like, here's all the information that I need back from you.
Yeah,
And once you give it to me, I can do everything.
yeah,
And then I didn't reply.
yeah. Actually, another thing that I kind of launched. I say launched. I kind of semi-launched it, and then haven't I haven't had time to kind of
Mm.
focus on it. Is setting up a almost like a just a single page website for someone who's starting out in the Fit Pro world,
Yeah.
becoming a personal trainer and stuff. And I did a demo run through with my wife's sister, who's
Yeah.
just started. She's just done all of her qualifications and stuff. Um, and essentially, it's as simple as I pinged her a form
Mm-hmm.
which asked all of the questions about, you know, can I have, this information. Um, so basically, the questions are designed in a way that fit in with the template that designed for it. And it's like, you know, can I have three key points around this?
Mm-hmm.
This topic, what are three benefits
Yeah.
that you kind of that if someone's working with you, these are the benefits that have what kind of person you want to work with, that kind of thing. And it's kind of helping them with the questions to write a little bit of text that will fit into the template design.
Yeah.
She filled it all in, put it together, and she was live within like 2 days.
Oh, fuck off. See what happens when you do what you're supposed to do. Do you know what for me though? Which, maybe something to consider. I'm not telling you how to do your job,
Yeah,
but I am. Is that I would pay more
yeah,
if there was like a bundle with a copywriter.
yeah. But the problem is, I think around copywriting things.
Yeah.
Well, I say problem because obviously I'm not a copywriter, so I can't really have an opinion on this. But I think it's very much like I feel like you need to know the person.
Well, yeah, that's what they do. They get to know you.
Yeah, because like obviously when I've used like some the AI things that are around now that you can use that help you with stuff. Good for ideas to start with, but you have to massively rewrite it anyway because it doesn't sound
Human.
and it doesn't sound anything like how I would speak. So say I did, I got it to write something for
Yeah.
me. So if I give it some information, it writes stuff. Doesn't say or speak or sound anything like I would,
Yeah.
which is then weird for anyone who reads any of the stuff and
Yeah.
then has a conversation with me and then realizes he probably didn't write anything there.
Yes. But
So, so
I I know
yeah.
that I will never have a website because I don't want to write the copy. And you're
Is
right,
it?
I don't even know what to say. Like,
But if you were given prompts, could you tell, like, so say, even if I hopped on a call, rather than giving you a form, for example, let's just say we hop on a phone call
Yeah.
and I say, who are you helping?
Yeah.
Um, who is this offer aimed for?
Yeah.
And then I then ask, what are you know, the benefits for them? What's the outcome? What do they get from working with you?
Yeah.
And if I talked through and asked you these questions and you spoke them back to me, I guess
Yeah.
you would then end up with a website because you'd answer those questions.
My brain would turn off and I would die inside. I can't do it. I can't do it. Somebody said to me recently as well about there was like like a gig going, like a project going, and
Mhm.
I recommended somebody
Yeah.
and they said, "Why are you not going for this? You could do this like in your sleep." And I was like, "Because it says strategy and marketing on the list. I'm not doing that. If you ask me to do marketing and strategy, like my brain will actually just dissolve and
Mhm.
then like run out of my nose. I don't care. It's boring.
Yeah.
Do you
So
know what I mean?
you're an implementer of things, aren't you, really?
Yeah. So I can do it myself, but I just find it boring. So what I would do is just have a page that says like buy my shit. Picture of me with two thumbs up. That should do it, I
Do,
reckon.
do you know what you should do? I reckon a fun project would be
Go on.
if you go to your clients
Yeah.
and just get them to write a testimonial of what you do for them
Yeah.
and then just put that on the website.
That's a really good idea.
Because then if someone goes to the website and sees all of the things that you have done for other
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
they could then go, I need all of those things, or I need some of that. And then they can just reach out to you based on that.
How dare you be reasonable and give me solid advice? Make me do things and take action.
Well, the thing is, you don't even need to do anything. Just basically ask your clients the same question.
Yeah, I know.
They can
I
do all the
know.
work. They
I
can
don't know
write
what
it all down, all the
honestly,
things you help.
I'm ridiculous. I don't know what my problem is. I think because I haven't needed it thus far
I
either.
think I think that is one of the key. That's one of the reasons why I think for the longest time I've never had a website really for
Yeah.
myself, and
Yeah.
that's because I've been too busy to make myself a website.
I don't need one. What would I do? What would I do if I was having like,
The thing is, if you yeah, when you're so busy and you've got too many people currently, or you're at max capacity,
yeah,
and for a fact if anyone client is leaving, you could probably someone that
yeah,
has either previously asked for help but you were too busy,
yeah,
or someone that could benefit from working with you.
mhm,
You reach out to them and they'll probably be like, oh yeah, that's great, let's go.
yeah, exactly.
so so the thing is that if you're at a point where you don't need extra work, why would you why would you spend time putting
Yeah.
something together which is literally not going to benefit you?
Well, that's the whole point. If you think, when did I first meet you? Well, I knew you before anyway, but
Yeah.
when did I first come to you and say, yes, that's a good idea. Let's do a website?
Yeah.
Fucking ages ago.
That was probably like, I don't know, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that.
Like 4 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was.
Like, that's what I mean. So it's not exactly been to my detriment that I've not
Hmm.
got. I tell you what I'm doing. I'm being a grown up. I'm doing a lead magnet. Should I tell you what it is? It's fun.
That sounds fun. Yeah, please.
Yeah, lead magnets. Yay! But no, it is fun. I'll tell you what it is. We have made a video game in PowerPoint.
That is cool.
Isn't it? We
Yeah. I don't even know what
thought,
it's for, but it sounds great.
we thought that would be, because it's like lead magnets are boring as fuck, right?
Mhm.
And then we're like, let's see if you can do our PowerPoint game. And we've obviously used the kind of actions within PowerPoint so that it's just like a move the cursor through the
Mhm.
obstacles.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it is cool. So that's it. That's what I'm working on.
That's funnily enough, I'm also putting together a lead magnet for that tech tribe. And putting that out into the world because I've not done that for a.
Do you not do a PowerPoint game?
I don't no, no.
Because I will be very cross with you.
Sorry. I actually don't know the last time I opened PowerPoint. I was probably in school.
Well, that's the point that I'm making with the lead magnet is like all of this shit that we use on a daily basis, or
Yeah.
not basis, but all of these softwares we use are boring as fuck. But
Mm.
look, you can make a game with
Play a game with it. That's great.
it. Because, I am fundamentally a fucking child.